Hello everyone. I just want to start out by saying sorry for the audio on this podcast. We were trying to live stream to YouTube, but the software we were using decided not to record the input we selected from the sound mixer. I was using a separate audio recorder out of the mixer, which is the audio you're about to hear, but unfortunately, the recording to that was also distorted. I've tried to clean it up as best as possible, but it still isn't the best. Once again, sorry. We will try harder next time. Thanks for watching.
It's worth giving Kyle money because of all the gear you see in front of you. That money is not going to me. That money is not going to me because I am just morally opposed to people soliciting for money for their racing hobby. If you cannot adjust your budget accordingly, as I have, to be able to do the things that I do. And you might notice that it's taken me a while to finish my car, and it's not always because I'm lazy. It's also because I'm broke. So it's because I own a house and I have student loans, just right up front with it, that this stuff is expensive, but if you budget properly, you can make it happen. And the people who are out there with the GoFundMes asking for money to go rallying, I have zero respect unless your GoFundMe is, I really, really, really want to do this in a responsible way, and I have cancer and I will die.
Right.
Then don't waste my time. I'm sorry. It's a really cool sport, and there are barriers to entry, and I legitimately feel bad. But you know what? I crewed and I co-drove and whatnot when I was in college. When I was not voluntarily eating lima beans out of a can. When I was mandatory eating lima beans out of a can, I still got involved with the sport. So there are a lot of...
I was eating lima beans when I got here today. So.
Yeah, that's why I needed to say that, is I wasn't doing it because I enjoyed them. I was doing it because they were 33 cents and I was broke. So there are ways to get into rally without that much money. And there are ways to dump a lot of money into what you see behind you. So even if you do everything yourself.
Yeah, and let me also say, like, with the money, like, that if anyone wanted to give money through either the YouTube fan funding, or we do have a Patreon account that I honestly just set up to see how it worked, to be honest with you. And it's just another one of those things, like, it reach for people to find us, and actually, because all the videos post on there as well, so they can go through and see all the videos kind of all in one timeline kind of thing. But any money that, if ever, gets donated, or if you want to donate, that's like you saying, hey, I appreciate you doing this. We're never going to ask for it or do, the fund me shit. No, fuck that. Not doing that. But any of that money is going to get set aside for when we actually go to rallies.
Yeah.
And we've talked about that, like, and, because the cameras that are going to go in the car obviously aren't the cameras that I use normally. So, I mean, that costs money, and going to the rallies, and it's all, it's going to be put into making content that I wouldn't normally be able to make if anybody did.
Yeah.
So, or extra content. So,
definitely.
We're not asking for money, but if you want to give it, we'll take it.
Oh, now off that tangent.
Yeah. So you guys, I can't remember Mike, if you've been in any of the videos. You may have been around when we were shooting one on painting or something like that. I knew you were around some. Yeah. I mean, you've always been around. You've been around longer than I've been around, but I can't remember if you've been in any of Kyle's stuff, shenanigans.
If you guys want to see a really funny video of Mike drunk.
Oh, on your Vimeo page, right?
No. From when the H2O.
No, I remember that, but where is it on?
I have not uploaded it.
Oh, no. Yeah, it's...
I'm thinking about putting it out as a Friends of Project Syncro video.
Yeah, right.
So is that the one from this summer? Like,
yes, from the barbecue at your house when we were going down the hill on tricycles.
Oh, yeah.
Big wheels.
You showed that to me.
I do remember that at this point. I wasn't on them, which I'm glad I'm not that stupid anymore. Because
I'm going to have to edit that together and throw that up.
That's pretty good. Oh, man, that reminds me. I wish we had videos of our more video from when Matt and I were doing the Barstool Racer stuff in Rolla. We had a Barstool Racer that Jim Hoff put together that was He called it the Jang Dong because it was the Harbor Freight engine, the Harbor Freight Briggs knockoff.
Yeah.
And it was something like that. And he just called it the Jang Dong that he hacked together into a little barstool racer with no brakes and a V-belt. And it was the scariest and most fun motor vehicle that there is. And it's ridiculous.
Some guy on YouTube showed like the different, off-the-shelf engines you could buy from Harbor Freight.
Yeah.
And against and I'm not shitting you, like the smaller displacement ones are Briggs and Stratton, like laser scanned, and then the bigger ones are Honda.
Yeah.
They are literally like laser scanned Honda engines. Like he took them both apart, and they were like, identical.
Yeah, I'd believe it. And the fins and stuff probably just look like garbage, and maybe it's honed, maybe it's not. They
don't clean them out very well.
It has one ring in it, not like not a set.
He showed starting, like the 212, the Predator 212, is the most common one. It's like $100.
Yeah.
He's like, this is the first thing you do when you buy this engine. He puts oil in it, starts it up, runs it for 5 minutes, and
then
turns
drains it.
Takes the side of the crankcase off, and drains the oil out, and it looks like bass boat paint. But like after that, like he put fresh oil back in it.
That's probably a good idea.
But he's like, look at. it literally looked like bass boat paint just pouring out of the side because he took the governor out while he was in there at the same time. It's got the whole mechanical governor.
Those any of those small engines, like I'll tell you, you guys look around and see how fastidious I am about stuff. My lawnmower, I found in the trash. I sharpen the blade yearly with a grinder, or with a file, like hand sharpen it with a file or something, and put it back on. I take the air filter out, I bang it against a rock, and I take the spark plug out, and I hit it with a wire brush, and I drain the oil into a coffee can and put new oil in it. And I've done that for 4 or 5 years now, and I just run the hell out of it. And I put whatever the stabilized 93 that I put in the motorcycles in it, just because I'm not going to buy slightly cheaper gas just for the mower. But little motors like that are stupid reliable. I don't understand how, like, Mark and John Hebe's brother, Matt, locked up his lawnmower. Like, how do you do that? How do you even do that?
Yeah, we had a Honda pressure washer that we bought when my parents bought the first motel when I was 2. Mm-hmm. And that thing, no stable in it, nothing, ever.
Oh, yeah, leave it sit all winter.
One pull. And that thing's still going. My cousin has it now.
Yeah.
And he just throws it in the garage.
I believe
Summer
it.
comes around, he puts fuel in it. And just
I'm on 6 years on our mower, 6 or 7 years.
Yeah.
No oil change. No stable. Fresh gas. Boom. Starts up.
Wow. Whatever. That's just so we're not totally off topic. That applies to rally people that build motors. Don't do built motors. Just don't do a built motor. It's so stupid. You can do little reliability improvements, but don't do this crazy stroker whatever thing, because it's going to blow up on you. And it's not going to blow up on you just randomly. It's going to blow up on you on stage. It's not going to last, it will fail during an event, as it always does during an event, and you'll DNF. And it's a stupid because you waste money on the build, and then you waste money on the event.
It's like our friend Sean building Chris Duplessis' car.
Yeah, exactly.
Blew up on stage twice, I think.
Yeah, which I will say, other than that, Chris Duplessis knows what's up, because he ran an ABA in his Mark II that he won Group 2 Nationals with. Just 2-liter ABA, 020 gearbox,
but it's not it wasn't really either of their faults. It's just he wanted to build engine for more power, and Sean,
it happens.
Is a hell of an engine builder. I mean, as you see, he built Ryan Turk's 2JZ, which lasted all season, one engine, and never gave him a single issue. And that thing, 750, 800 horsepower.
That is sitting on the red line.
It's sitting on the red line all the time, and that thing
by design, just you plant your foot and you kind of feather when you're getting an angle set or something. But yeah, most of the time you're just in it. I've done a lot of custom stuff, not a motor. Well, I will be hard pressed to do it after this motor. I'll start buying 1.8Ts out of the junkyard and run junkyard 1.8Ts that I freaking pressure wash and wire brush off and throw in the car.
For every 1.8T you buy, though, you need to get at least 2 KO3s or KO4s.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
To
Or
go along with it.
or a really nice supercharger.
Yeah.
Really.
You should put a Lysome on a 1.8.
That's exactly what I was thinking is the long block is reliable and
Built
can
for
take
it, yeah.
boost and a nice Lysome that I wonder.
People can get what? Reliable 300 horsepower out of a non-built 1.8
I mean, yeah, usually 354 is your breaking point.
with those. Yeah, so 300 reliable.
Yeah, right. But
I mean-
okay, what are Lysome numbers? Do you remember just from being around whenever Chris was doing that stuff? Did Chris ever have? He had a Lysome, right?
Yeah.
Briefly on the,
He had it.
and he had it
Yeah.
on a standard Corrado 1.8 8-valve.
Mm-hmm.
The counterflow. Counterflow.
Yeah.
8-valve.
And then Jens had it on his ABA.
Yeah. And then
And
Sean had it
on an 8-valve.
on an 8-valve, yeah. Which, I'm sorry, that's
Passed around like a cheap hooker.
Yeah.
that is the coolest noise. And if that, if you go watch old videos of the Group A Rally Golfs on stage, the hopped up chargers that they used, even though that they were based on a G ladder, they still sound like that, and they're so cool. When I ran the 16 valve G60, it was just vaguely whiny, but the Lysome, man, it sounds like a fire truck siren roaring past you, and that I cannot wait till the day that we can see some stage video of that noise sliding around.
Yeah, I know that there's video out there of a guy with a Mark II, I believe it's a 16 valve with a Lysome hill climb car.
Yes.
And it sounds
ridiculous. Oh, it's insane.
Because you hear the Lysome even before you hear the exhaust, and it's like
Well,
straight piped.
If
And
any
you hear
of
it
you
coming up the hill like through
Yeah.
the woods, it's crazy.
there's a sound, so just as true with a 5-cylinder Audi, there's YouTube videos can only capture so much of the magic of that noise. And as crappy as my 2 Audis were, they still sounded pretty cool for, just cruising around. The same is true for just random rally spectator videos where you're standing in a forest and it's like dead freaking silent, and then you hear a rally car coming through. The weird advanced echo that you hear behind a car while it's, probably like a mile to a half a mile before it arrives is the coolest. It's almost cooler than actually seeing the cars come through, is hearing that, especially at night, because it's just a weird, like it's snowdrift. You know how everything gets really quiet when the snow dampens audio? It's like you're just standing there and everybody's dead silent, and then you hear the wastegate, the anti-lag noises and stuff coming through, and then you hear a car come through. It's really cool, and hearing that with a Lysome would just be ridiculous.
It was like when I went to Ojibwe, when I actually went out with those people, I have no idea who they were. I literally just jumped in their car. Like we were that's the thing with rallies.
Oh, you can totally do that
and
too.
They were like, "Hey, you going out to the stage?" They're like, "Yeah, just get in the." So we had
Yeah.
like 8 people piled in this SUV to go out to one stage because we were all crewing.
Yeah.
So we could literally only make it to one stage, and it was a night stage.
And then
get
back to the fuel
before-
thing or
Yeah,
wable.
because we had to get back to the one place and then drive over to
Yeah.
the fuel stop. It was crazy, but
Ojibwe transits are just
awful.
awful. One
an
of
hour.
the 128-minute one, whenever I did it, whenever I serviced for the Hebes the last time, that one that's way up north, that BFE, where you don't have cell service, and it's like
an intersection.
It's like Fargo. It's literally like you're in Fargo.
The crazy thing is
because
it's only 45 minutes from Fargo.
Yes, exactly.
So you're literally in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, you pull up at an intersection, and it's just like a little town emerges whenever the rally shows up. It's so weird.
But that one stage, like the spectator point was right at a corner. It was through like really dense woods, and so you couldn't hear them coming. You could see their lights, like kind of like going through the
glimmering
woods,
through the
almost before you could hear them, except for Conti's car. You could hear that fucker coming. I mean, a good almost mile away.
We've always wondered why his cars have passed the sound inspection.
Yeah, I have no idea.
His car is the reason why I don't really plan to run a muffler. I'll just run a resonator and a high flow cat right at the back, and if I need to make any modifications, I will. But
Yeah, you should be fine.
yeah,
Cars aren't that loud.
yeah, it should be pretty.
Lysom on the 4Runner would be pretty awesome. They take boost. 15 pounds, I think, is kind of their pushing point.
Really.
What's the compression in one of those?
Honestly, I couldn't even tell you.
Yeah. So Mike sold his Jetta, and now he has a 4Runner. That's all. It's what have you done so far? It's lifted, right?
Brodozer.
It's not.
It's not Chuck's Jeep.
It's not fully dozed.
It doesn't have that weird, what do they call those things?
Stinger.
These things, I don't get.
Yeah.
Cattle catcher looking thing.
So you don't
on
roll
the front of
over.
it.
Yeah, as
Run
you're
end over.
tipping,
Or
to
it just rolls
hopefully,
to the side or whatever.
hopefully,
Looks retarded.
a little bit. But yeah, no, it's just lifted tires, some better brakes on it, so it actually stops.
That's good.
Yeah.
Important stuff.
I mean, it actually has 4-pots in the front. Best brakes I've ever had.
Really?
Stops better than her car does.
Nice.
Yeah.
I got I have the F-150 now.
Oh yeah, right.
It's ridiculous. Like the holy crap. Talk about some brakes. It's insane. The red Mark II is great when you get them heated up or something, but the truck is like, it's got to be how big the vacuum brake booster is compared, especially with the with how big the calipers and rotors and all that stuff are, but you barely touch it. When I go from like driving the BMW and getting the truck, I about go through the window. It's crazy.
Yeah, and looks like 2 people who are watching. Fucking superstars here. If you guys want to ask questions or at least say hi to prove that you're actually watching, that'd be great. Just so we know that this thing's actually working more than anything.
So I'll say something borderline, not controversial at all.
Of course, the 2 people watching probably are us.
Yeah, all right.
Because
Yeah, way to go, Kyle.
that and, well, it shouldn't coming from the same computer.
Yeah.
It probably is.
Kyle's ballot stuffing right now with something.
Hey, it's okay.
Yeah, I told Kyle what time to do this, and I literally realized it is exactly during the State of the Union address, and we both said, nah, who cares?
He's not important.
No, he's not.
Nah.
He's leaving office soon. He's just going to do a bunch of shit that now, since he can't get reelected, like every fucking president and their second
Second term, right
Who
at
do
the
they-
end, whatever.
What? Yeah.
I
Now
will
they're-
say that the Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee was amusing.
Haven't watched it yet.
It's pretty good.
Was debating on wasting my time or not. So
Mike and I share different views slightly, just polling based on Facebook posts, but I don't care.
With what? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Does not matter. Whatever. There are the important thing is there's more important things to worry about.
Like finishing a rally car.
Yeah, exactly. Like motorcycles and off-roading and welding and what have you. So,
So what are you going to sell the Thruxton for?
money.
No, I mean, like, how much?
That's the hard part because there's no blue book value for it.
what year is it? Triumph Thruxton 900, right?
Yep, 2010. It's the SE, so it's the
It's
fancy one
It's
with
white
the
with the red.
yeah red frame and
It's very cool.
It's a gorgeous
If
bike.
you want a new bike that looks like an older cafe-ish inspired bike, it's really awesome, and it's fuel injected, right?
Yep.
It's fuel injected. Yeah, it just runs. It just runs. It's nice. It's very nice. But yeah, you have an SV also, right? Or did you get rid of that?
that finally sold late summertime.
Oh, who did you sell it to? Because I know someone in St. Louis who just bought an SV.
Well, it was some guy named Kyle, randomly enough.
Kyle.
Yeah, but he was going to he was joining like the Navy or something. So like it
okay.
was his on base vehicle, I guess. But
Huh. Weird. You mentioned that, and then a couple weeks later, my friend Gonzo literally just said, he's like, "Hey, I bought a blue. Yours was blue, right?
Right,
A blue
right.
SV650." And I was like, What?
I mean, that'd be interesting if that guy.
Yeah,
Bought
dumped
it
it
and
again. Yeah,
sold it,
I guess we
yeah.
could figure that out. But he's actually doing track days with it, and so that's good. I don't know, he's pretty crazy.
So he didn't buy Chris's bike?
Was Chris's bike running?
Which one did he sell?
Well, it was running, but the transmission, I believe, was too tight, so it was supposed to be being rebuilt, and that's the last time I heard about it. And he kept hounding the guy like, "Hey, where's my stuff?" And yeah, so
This was the bike that he bought to track.
yeah,
The bike,
isn't he
the bike
selling-
that he bought to take apart, right?
Doesn't he have a Speed Triple R that he's trying to sell as well?
And the
Yeah.
Ducati and the whatever and the what have you.
I think he's keeping the Ducati, right?
yeah, because it's freshly repainted now and some goodies here and there.
Oh my!
Why is he selling the Speed Triple R? He was so excited. He's like, I'm never getting rid of either of these bikes. And now
But he already had one and got rid of it, right?
the he had a Speed Triple,
Right.
Or
That he-
street or speed.
but he had some issues with that and traded in, right?
It was starting to make some noise, which was apparently something in the case, and when it lets go, it lets
done.
go. Yeah.
Kapowie.
Yeah.
They're all very fun bikes that
It's a British thing. That's what they do.
They are all of Chris's bikes have always been very fun to ride, and I would never want to own one because I am at the point where I consider myself to be what I would just call totally average between the very worst rider and the very best rider. I think I'm absolutely average, just like I am with welding. So I think I'm absolutely average. And they scare me. Holy crap. It's too fast. It's just too much.
Yeah, it's good to be scared of it, though. I mean,
Yeah. I mean, it is really, really, really easy to do something really stupid. Holy crap. And
But
and
Ducati's owned by by Volkswagen now.
right.
You gotta
Well, okay, I'll say
the
this.
family.
That cracked mirror off of the Supermoto that we see sort of, yeah, you can see it off to the left of the frame here. That cracked mirror is cracked because of my thigh, because I was riding a wheelie on the outer road on the way to work one morning.
On the way to work, in front of his work, riding a wheelie.
Yeah, like 7:30 in the morning, and somebody pulled out in front of me, and I had I had it crossed up, and I set it down a little crossed up, and it popped the bars, and popped me right in the leg, and I have never. If you've ever seen how MotoGP riders, not to tout any kind of skill, it was just dumb luck that I didn't go down. But when you see them and they get all out of sorts and they kind of do the thing where they stand up and get real loose, but they stand up, that must have been what I did, and it must have worked because I was in a tank slapper and was able to keep it straight up. I would not have been able to get away with that on anything else. It was just so ridiculous. But yes, that cheap 60 horsepower dirt bike over there, I can get away with a lot that I know I could never, ever, ever do or would ever want to do. I feel so much less in control on a street bike than I do on a supermoto that I can just, go up a set of stairs or something,
Right, and part of the reason I want to get rid of it is so me and Cole can actually go do some dirt biking things because he has a little 65 now.
Oh,
so
are you actually going to get a dirt bike?
I've been looking into it, so it's one of the things I gotta, obviously get do the Thruxton.
Don't get a CR250 because, oh my God, that's like, wait, well, how much do you weigh?
I'm like 2.
2? Really?
Yeah.
Okay, well, yeah, maybe. Yeah, when it warms up here, I'll let you ride mine around the common ground because I'll tell you what, it caught me off guard.
Yeah.
Because I was looking for a CR125, Honda CR125, just entry level. It's good inverted front end and nice brakes and whatnot, but it's just a 125 two-stroke.
Yeah.
And a couple of my friends are like, nah, you've ridden long enough because, I mean, the XR, although it's not, I don't ride it on dirt that much, is a 650 four-stroke. So
Yeah.
they're like, oh, yeah, you'll be fine. So I got a CR250, and it's pretty wild. It's very, I mean, it's carbon reeded and piped and the carb is stock, but it's dialed right in, and man, you just burp the throttle, and if you're at all compressed on the rear and you burp it, the front wheel's totally off the ground and you're in a wheelie. And I'm like, okay, I'm glad I know how to do this, but this is still very unnerving. Mike, okay, I'm glad I didn't get a bike that I was immediately bored with, but
Right.
there is definitely a learning curve. So, yeah. But I've said it before, I'll say it again. If I had been into bikes a couple years earlier, this car would not be here. Because they're a lot of fun.
Gonna have you. It would be all bikes then.
It really would be. It almost is. They're so.
All right.
Oh man. The fun per dollar, I will say.
Yeah.
The fun per dollar is there on a cheap Subaru rally car, an open light rally car, if you're wanting to do rally. But fun per dollar on a dirt bike is. Whew, it's pretty good.
I don't know. I still think like seeing. Well, I mean, like the Williams brothers.
Yeah.
I mean, they're into rally for cheap, but
Well.
what? That
Yeah,
it's not
cheap.
As,
I mean,
but the fun level, I don't think is there with with a Fiesta.
I mean, they've had
it's an old school. Is it Fiesta or Festiva?
Festiva.
It's a Festiva.
Oh.
Yeah.
They've had some crap luck, and they've been in some crap situations. And if they could, if they could get their car, I think they have the right parts now bolted onto that thing. That if they could just get it reliable and just, go through the motions and get to the events and finish and things, they'll get to a good spot, and the fun per dollar will be there. But man, you just have to, it just sucks when you see them go to event after event and DNF for silly stuff that, some of it, you might say, you might blame it on poor preparation, but some of it is like, even if you did prepare, how could you expect the following thing? Like how do you? That's the stuff that worries me, obviously. But it sucks. So yeah, it's
the car I really want to do is to go and get a early 2000s Focus and literally just strip the interior.
Yeah, just put a cage in it,
safety it, and run it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because I mean, just go get a 5-speed.
Yeah.
The dual overhead cam, not the SVT. Don't fuck with that shit. Just because
a plain old.
All your parts are cheap as shit.
Mm-hmm.
You can get them anywhere. There's spares everywhere for you. But the thing is, they're so reliable.
You can get the AutoZone Bilsteins.
Yes, exactly.
Like I have on the rallycross car.
But yeah, just put some, put Bilsteins on it. It springs, safety it, cage it, and go.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah.
You're fine.
It's brilliant.
Where are you going?
vehicle.
Got to pee?
Yeah.
Can you give me a beer when you're up? Give me a beer.
Mike is not a veteran podcaster by any means.
What?
What are we, like 30 minutes?
Yeah, 35 minutes. Something like that.
35 minutes, and Mike's already walking away to go to the bathroom.
It's all right.
What a shame. Yeah. I wish somebody else would buy a dirt bike. That would be really
I
nice.
don't want one. I just don't have any place to keep one.
Yeah.
Not
I need to
really.
build a shed.
In the back?
Yeah, there's I'm in a suburb here.
10 by 10, 40 foot tall.
Yeah, right. I'm in a suburb here where there's a requirement on the square footage, but not the volume of the.
Right.
So
height is not a
height is not
consideration.
Constrained. So I can build a 3-story, 8 by 12 shed, and what I need to get is find a Lowe's or find some place that's a carpet place that's closing that has one of those carpet hoists.
Yeah.
And put motorcycles on it and
Just hoist it up. Yes.
Well, honestly though, I do want to do a shed because I have the truck I have. If you're gonna go, thankfully, my grandpa being who he was and hauling tools around, he had a really nice paint matched camper shell on the truck. But hauling bikes around, I've taken it off, so I have it behind the house. But I would like to be able to store the camper shell in the top portion of a shed. So I feel like that would be an interesting gantry setup to put that in. That's not just a shelf, but it's like maybe
do it like they do with a hay barn.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. With the thing that
comes out.
Yeah, exactly like that. It doesn't have to be like super rocket sciencey, but that would be really cool to be able to tuck that in there, and then get more stuff in there. There's a lot of stuff. If you've seen the recent photos and videos and whatnot, I've been doing some improvements to the garage, including the putting the bench in. And did you get me another beverage? Oh, thank you. Did I finish this one? Hold on, let me finish this beverage. Give us a 5-second break here. Okay, maybe I can't swig that much, but I put in a nice
pussy.
Right. I put in a nice new bench from Menards. Yeah, thank you, Kyle, for just tracking that. I was trying to watch that, and then you just ruined it.
No, it's all right.
A bench with a sink, and did all this plumbing work and what have you. And
pencil sharpener.
Yeah, nice. You like that pencil sharpener? If you notice, that pencil sharpener says U.S. government on it. It's stamped into the face, and it's one of the items that my dad liberated from work when his unit closed. So
your dad liberated a lot of things.
Yeah, he did. He did, like, and we appreciate it.
From Jefferson Barracks with a deuce and a half, dropping shit off.
Yeah, exactly. I have a full field desk. If you ever watched MASH, they have a few of them, like in the background of Henry Blake or Colonel Potter or whatever CO you're a fan of, in the back of the office, and you can see it behind. It's like a desk that has or a file cabinet thing that has a desk that attaches to it. It's very cool. So yeah, I have a lot of stuff from there.
Works.
I was admiring the butcher block top there. I do like that.
It was really. I'm telling you, man, I love Menards now. I'm not one to shill for all that much, but
it's like the weirdest, like hot.
It is such a weird, and it's kind of like maybe the new hasn't worn off because we're in the Midwest here, so we're culturally sheltered. That I'm still obsessed with IKEA, but I'm sure the new will wear off IKEA, and I will get annoyed by the quality. But for the time being, I love IKEA, and
The thing is, IKEA offers things that no one else offers.
Yeah.
And it was always a pain in the ass to order off of IKEA's website because you didn't know exactly what you were getting.
Oh, yeah.
Without seeing it.
Exactly.
And that's why I was always afraid to order certain things off of there. But it's not like you go down, especially in their homewares on the bottom.
Oh,
certain things, and they're just so cheap. And you can't get anything that quality anywhere else for that,
Oh, so my girlfriend, Callie, we were there the other day, and she got one of those vacuum flasks. They have vacuum bottles for like $4 for like a 16-ounce vacuum bottle. And I forgot to the other day. I need to have her bring it over because I want to do testing on it to see if it really is up to snuff. Because if it is, I'll buy like 4 of them. Because I don't have a nice thermos, and I need one. I know Lee had the standard thermos, and they're like brilliant.
Yeah, but Menards, they have, like, you just walk through there.
It's so weird.
Like, they have the food section. You're like, what the fuck is this doing in a hardware store?
Well, now the new farm and home store.
Oh, by you, yeah.
Yeah, that's supposed to be like a Menards, but I haven't got the time to run in there yet.
Yeah, the Kmart down by my favorite Chinese place, Fu Yu.
Yeah.
Fu Yu, yes. I remember that. My mom likes it. Well, I don't know if she liked it, but she always would
frequent it.
No, that's the best.
Like
that's
the
the best
name.
Chinese around there.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a farm and home, right? Mm-hmm. Or home and farm, something like that, in the old Kmart there.
Outfitting your lifestyle.
Yes.
Did you ever go to Buckeyes?
Oh, all the time.
Oh yeah. Well, we talked about that earlier. Going to Buckeyes.
It's 2 minutes from the house, so yeah.
Oh yeah, it is.
You have.
Man.
Where do you have a Buckeye?
Where the old Walmart used to be in House Springs.
Oh, that's a Buckeyes now?
Yeah.
Because I thought the only one was down at in Herculaneum?
Yep.
Or Festus?
Yeah.
Or something?
Down in the
I'd
fetus.
been in the Festus. Whatever.
Yeah. That's.
Yeah, that's a. So yeah, this block was it was called like Builder's Special. All Builder's Special means is you have to sand it. That's it. It's still oak, So I was thinking that I have a vise mounted. I'm gesturing to something that is off screen. But I have a vise that's just bolted down with 3 tapered bolts in the thing. And I thought I was going to need to make like a plate that went over and welded the plate onto my little support leg here and whatnot to buck the thing up and whatnot. But this bench is so sturdy. I bolted this vise onto the side. I was jumping up and down on the vise. Granted, I was out of headroom, but I'm like, let's see how stout this vise is, because Matt, my old bench, the one on rollers that was actually my old roommate's grandfather built it with the radial arm saw. Matt came over with a coilover that was rusted, and he wanted to try and break it loose. So what did he do? He bolted it in. He put it in my vise, put a big wrench on it, and went like this. Sheared the whole front of the workbench clean off. So I told him, I'm not sure if you can break the front off of this one now, but if there's anyone that can, it would be you, and please don't.
Did you make the actual supports too, or did?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I just went to Shapiro.
So if he wants to put 1/2-inch plate steel on there, it looks like it'll support it.
Yeah, I legitimately can do that if I want to, switch this over. And I've thought about that too. If I want to just get a sheet of something to throw on there. I also have behind me, you can see this green self-healing cutting mat on the stainless table that I've thrown that over there too. And the stainless table, I'm using the stainless table for a weld table now instead of this bench, which, sue me. I'm not going to go out of my way to keep it pristine, but I'm also probably not going to needlessly abuse the thing, just mostly because I don't need to. I know when the car is on the stage and it comes back and things are oily and dirty and whatnot, it will happen. But that's why the floor is painted, and that's why this and I can literally just hose all the crap out and it's fine. That's why you'll notice pretty much everything around here is on wheels. And in the summer, I can wheel everything out and just hose the garage out. The only things that aren't are the table saw, these shelves, and the shelves are jacked up, 2 or 3 inches off the floor there. And then I think, so with the laser cutter, I think I'm actually going to move that inside into either the laundry room or I'll vent it whenever my other roommate moves out eventually. I'll put it on that front wall and vent it out that door.
You could put it in the laundry room on a shelf.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I was going to do.
It's not like you don't need to move the fucking thing around once it's in there.
Yeah, exactly. And then I can, I think it'll work
Your server room / laundry room.
Yeah.
It really is. There's like 2 computers in there.
Yeah, for those of you into that sort of thing, Kyle does as well. I have a Plex server, just a big file server that we built up. Well, not really big compared to some people, but I think it's got like 4 2-terabyte drives in it. They're not in an array because I got burned by having them in an array because I lost all of my media because all of the drives in my last RAID array failed at exactly the same time, and it upset me. So, it's so stupid. But, the internet exists now, so how much does that really matter? It's not like it's 2002 and I lost all the stuff I downloaded off of Napster over dial-up. So.
Right. Other than I've been trying to upload, I got Amazon's unlimited cloud.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
That's what we're doing at work is we're migrating to cloud.
Yeah, other than you have a fiber line to be able to upload to.
Well,
I have Charter, throttled upload.
Oh,
which,
yeah.
I've been trying to upload my 16 terabytes for over 3 months now. I'm not even a third of the way. So I've given up. Because, literally they'll throttle, the upload speed at different times. Even though Charter truly is unlimited, you can tell when it's throttling at different times. But Amazon just announced not too long ago their Snowball. Have you seen this?
What? No.
It's like this case. It has 50 terabytes in it.
Oh, you just load them up and you mail it?
Well, yeah, it's $200 to have it sent to you. And that's what a lot of companies are doing. So instead of having to upload through, like servers and servers and servers.
Yeah, they just load you do it one
you can
time.
daisy chain these things.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
Daisy chain and offload them. They have fiber in or USB or I think Thunderbolt as well.
Okay.
And so I'm waiting until I get to about 25 terabytes, and I'm just gonna for $200.
Yeah.
Plus you have to have the subscription. But instead of trying to upload all that, and then I'll upload as I create new content, I'll just have it upload. But like trying to back everything up right now,
Oh yeah, that initial thing is difficult.
Yeah.
Ugh.
But it's nice. It has like a Kindle in it for the mail.
Oh yeah.
So when you get it, it obviously mails to you, and then like it gives you the instructions on it when you open the panel up and you plug it in, and it shows you like everything, and you say, okay, are you ready to go? And you like hit a thing on the front, and it automatically changes the shipping label on the front
Nice.
to the return shipping.
You realize how much you could screw with people with what? Do you ever?
Right.
There was a guy who would do this like black box version of hacking with the mail, where he had he had a very early version of like, I think maybe he was one of the first people to like hack a Nook or something, one of the e-paper screens.
Right.
He embedded an e-paper screen in a box and kept changing the label.
So it just gets sent all over the
It had a
country.
GPS in it, and he kept changing the label in such a way
That's
that,
awesome.
he knew like if it was stationary for whatever and it had been scanned that it was probably in a DC, and then he would switch the label and it would route it without
That
them
is
knowing, and it
awesome.
would just bounce, for like a year.
Go everywhere. That's awesome.
It was so cool. So yeah, that would be a neat little thing to do. There are a lot of electronics projects and stuff that I'd always wanted to do.
You
that
could just
kinda-
set one up to like change every day, like at the same time every day, to where when it goes through their machines, it's just like, oh, okay, now it gets going on a truck, and just ping it back and forth
Well, you
between
can't-
LA and New York, like
You
all
can't
year.
do it when it's out for delivery though, because then the jig's up. Then they know.
What?
But if you do it,
I mean, but when it's in transit, you can just do it every day because that like you at the post office isn't going to deliver something in a day.
Well,
so they're
yeah.
going to get to like from St. Louis, then on the way to Chicago, it's going to change, and then when it gets to Chicago,
Yeah.
it's going to change to go somewhere.
Yeah, exactly.
It'll just ping. It'll be
that
fun.
would be interesting.
Unfortunately, the audio is really bad on my end. Sounds like you're behind a waterfall and in a seashell.
Uh-oh.
Sorry.
It sounds... You have it up on your...
Yeah, and on the live stream it shows the thing there.
I'm sorry about that. It's no good.
For the
something real
one
quick.
person that is watching.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's one person watching us right now.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm going to try something real quick.
Oh, is it the stupid... Are you going to put that into the actual output? Or into the...
iPad.
into the iPad to see how the stream sounds. Yeah, I made sure that Kyle was on the 5 gig wireless and whatnot, and that I tested the stream before and it seemed to work fairly well. So I'm not really sure what's going on. Looks like he's trying it. It could also be
It
the.
does sound horrible.
What are you doing, Kyle?
I don't know.
You blew it. Well, the quality was fine last time. What changed?
I think it's going off the mic on the laptop.
Really?
Yeah, when I changed it and deleted the mic on the laptop. Let me check something.
Oh, Kyle.
Kyle.
Go fuck yourself, Ron.
Patty.
Carl.
Freaking. What, llamas and hats or
That
something?
was the... Yeah. Carl.
Yeah, it shows the capture device.
Oh, really?
Here.
You don't have to, like, select one or the other, do you? You don't have to select one or the other. I know you do that with the camera, but... you don't pick an audio stream over the other one.
He's still watching.
There's another person.
If he's still watching, it sounds better right now.
Oh.
Ask him.
Yeah, if anybody's still watching, let us know if it sounds better now. Because what are you futzing around with, Kyle? Did you change something? Yeah. Yes. I changed something. Well, that's a good thing. We joked that Kyle had a contingency recorder.
I'm going to turn your mic off, Kyle.
Yeah.
Perfect, he says.
What did you do?
It's okay. Look.
No, I'm looking.
Audio input device is all the way down, but mic auxiliary, which is the internal mic, is all the way up now. But it's actually coming from the audio device.
What?
I can't fucking tell you.
You have a Mac. I
Yeah.
don't know what's going on with those. I don't
Fucking
know.
Mac. Shit.
You want to see here? The
So-
newest. This is the newest Apple product that I own.
So now the only problem
This is a
is
Newton from 1997. This is just the most fun. Let's see.
Does it have Snake?
I can put Snake on it, but this is what I use. The Newton 2000. Look it up. It's awesome. I have 2 of them now. It's getting out of hand here. It's like my vintage GPS collection. Cheap stuff on eBay.
Sorry about that, Alan.
Oh, well, maybe podcast number 8.
Yeah, we'll get it right one of these days.
I know,
Come on, this is
well,
the first.
The first live
we fucked
podcast
around with
we've
it
done.
last time. but
Yeah,
we
well, it
didn't.
worked last time.
Yeah, surprisingly, we just
Yeah.
hooked it up and like, hey, this is streaming.
Hey, this
It's working
works
properly.
perfectly.
Then I go fuck with it and make sure everything's working right and spend an hour setting it up.
That's the old engineer's motto. If it's not broke, fix it till it is.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
Yep. So yeah, sorry, Alan. What was it, Alan Dantes? Is that your name?
Oh, Al Dantes. Yeah. Yeah. Al Rally's Mark III Jetta VR, if I remember correctly, because I ran into him at where were we? We were at LSPR, right? Yeah, and he DNF'd he motor let go.
Oh.
Sucks.
In
Sorry,
what
Al.
car?
This is just a group 2 or group. Would he be Al? Are you group 5 or group 2? I don't know. It looked like an early VR. You guys know VR.
I had a VR go.
Yeah.
That's kind of surprising.
That is surprising.
Yeah. I don't know.
My VR is still going. 250,000 miles. Of course, I haven't driven in a year. Literally, I haven't started the car in a year. It's been sitting on the hill.
Wow.
That's because
It's probably hydrolock now.
maybe
I was gonna say, did
the
it?
water got about almost it's about 3 feet to where
Wow.
it was parked on the hill. I thought I was like,
Wow.
oh, it won't get up that high. Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
All my neighbors stayed.
What?
We told them not to. They're like, oh, we'll be able to get out. We got out last time. I was like, it's supposed to get
No.
4.5 feet higher than it did in 2008. And they're like, yeah, we'll be able to get out. They're stuck.
So
They had to
if-
like climb up our hill behind us and
Oh
like
my
go up
God.
to Wet Willie's and
Yeah, I bet.
walk down.
So if any of you guys saw the video of or any of the helicopter shots of the flooding in St. Louis,
You probably saw my
yeah,
condo.
you probably saw Kyle's condo, which was isolated, which did not flood, but the hill to it flooded.
It says it was a 2.8 VR Group 2.
Okay, yeah, cool. I thought he was. I was sure. Well, I know it was 2-wheel drive, but I thought it was Group 2 as well.
But can't you run? Yeah, you can run that in Group 2 or Group 5.
I
Or
mean,
you
I
just
guess
running-
I guess you could run it in Group 5 if you wanted to, but
Wouldn't be competitive.
well,
With Group 2,
kind of the thing with Group 5 is it's sort of a show up and collector trophy thing nowadays.
isn't there a new displacement? Didn't they lower the displacement on Group 2 now?
I as much as you think I should be, I am not the person to ask about the rules right
I
now.
thought they lowered it like
I know
2.65.
I have all the crazy safety rules memorized now, and I know what my class rules are barely, but I don't know any of the. They just introduced. There's an unlimited open and a different. You know, they made 2 open classes with the idea that they're getting back. Rally America is getting back towards a more production-based open class.
Okay, he said he wiped out all the bearings
Oh.
Third failure, first engine, snap the timing chain.
Oh.
Second catastrophic. The jump at Ojibwe, Buffalo Run, or
Oh,
Buffalo
yeah.
River.
Yeah. Is that where the chain went?
Yeah.
Ooh. Is that at the track?
Yeah, he says he's got a new motor,
Oh,
and
that's
they're getting
good.
ready for 100 acre.
Oh, good. Well, see you here, Al.
Yeah, we'll be there.
Al, if you come through...
Hopefully I'll be there. I'll be getting back from Ireland just the week
Yeah.
before, so I'm trying to get off that weekend
If-
after. Don't know if that's going to happen.
If you guys have time, and you might not, or if you happen to tow through St. Louis, you're more than welcome to stop by. It would be excellent. Otherwise, I'll see you down there. I just got the registration to barring any unforeseen early completion on this thing, I'm still able to do 0 car for 100 acre. So I'll be there, and I'll be on the stage in one form or another.
Are you going to run? How long out do they do to where you can,
Worker registration?
like get 0 car or 00?
Well, that's kind of something that's decided. The committee sort of decides who does that. So I just got an email, a blanket email to all the worker cars, and asking whether or not anybody needed to change anything, and nobody needed to change anything. So I just figured it's best just to smile and nod and,
It works.
do what we do. I need to get my ham license. So I've been putting that off for too long.
Is it that difficult to get?
No, it's really easy, and I've studied it a bunch, and I know it, so.
All I know is if you put a ham radio station at your house, you're going to have problems with your HVAC equipment.
Really?
What?
Yeah. We have one customer. He's out in Wildwood. I can't think of what his station name is. But
Is it on his license plate?
it may be, but he actually has a sign in front of his house because he adopted the road. So it's on one of those giant signs.
Of course.
But yeah, I spent, after doing the 2-system install, I spent another 20 plus hours troubleshooting the system, trying to figure out which variable speed motor was causing frequency noise on his radio.
Oh my God.
And it was like every 10 hertz. Like this system was every 10 hertz, and then like just down from that every 10 hertz. Like it was just very...
Holy crap.
It sucked. It was terrible.
Did you just put coils on everything, or how did you...
We got filters for the indoor blower motors that killed a little bit.
Yeah.
And then was on a conference call with one of the guys from Lennox Tech Support that happened to be a ham radio operator. Yeah, so it was like a 5-way phone call going through, unplugging this motor while it's running, which is very bad for that actual equipment. Because, I mean, each system was about $12,000.
Oh, my God.
So, I mean, the AC itself that I'm dismantling while it's running is like, my cost on it is like $5,000.
Yeah.
So it's just insane.
So it was interference from the antenna? Or from like the amplifiers?
It's an interference from the AC motor, right?
Well, it's all 3-phase DC.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah,
That,
so
that would cause some interference, probably.
Yeah, so it's 220 feeding with inverters and everything built into it.
Okay.
Switching it over to 3-phase DC. So yeah, it ended up being the harness coming off of the condensing fan motor that was causing the most interference, which there was already like I don't know what it was built into it, but it was already like a filter built into it, but they had to put
Ferrite
a
coil
higher
kind of a thing.
It wasn't that. I mean, it was a tiny
Okay.
little, I couldn't tell you what it was, but yeah, no, I put ferrites on everything. That did a little bit here and there, but actually the ferrites caused more noise because them themselves would actually vibrate and make noise, which was weird.
Crazy.
That's
We gotta
nuts.
get those walkie-talkies from Kendall.
Which one? Oh, the military ones?
Yeah, the ones that say, against FCC law, do not use without license.
Yeah, the big old,
Yeah.
the old tank commander ones.
Nice.
He got some from work.
Those are like those Ricochet. If you guys want to look at, again, vintage, weird electronic technology, look up Ricochet modems. It was a service by Metrocom that was a metropolitan 900 megahertz wireless internet service, which they just mounted all these crazy radios to light poles, and then they gave you this like 1 watt modem to Velcro onto your laptop and hook up, and they're way overpowered, for like a little radio, but you can do point to point with them, and if you do the old Pringle can trick and whatnot, you can do point to point on two ricochet modems over 3 miles or something crazy. Just off of like a consumer thing. Like, how did the FCC approve this? But whatever.
Well, Kendall and I were looking up stuff when he was really looking at a new building. Like when he was looking at buying another building not that far from him.
Oh, the one right down the street.
Yeah. And I was
doing point to point.
Yeah, we're doing point to point Wi-Fi antennas, like the very directional ones. Just putting up
installed
a mast on his building.
I did exactly that.
Internet at both places.
The place I worked, and I'm not going to say the name of this place because I can't stand it. And I hated it.
Does it start with an A?
No, K. It's that place in Valley Park.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so the owner, total cheapskate, he would only communicate with you via email, and he would never be in the office because he had another full-time job besides running the store, quote-unquote, running the store. And he was cheap enough that he didn't want to pay for internet at the shop. So he lived probably a half mile away, and he wanted to put these radios up. So I was actually able to. There were the intersection, the intersection maps and stuff that you can get from MoDOT. I got all of the intersection maps for the area between the shop and his house and laid them all together. And measure, and then it's got north marked on it, and you can basically figure out what bearing they need to be pointed at to be pointed exactly at each other, and same with the elevation. They have the elevations marked. So I did all the trig work to figure out how they needed to be pointed, how high the mast needed to be, so on and so forth, and built. It was actually probably the coolest week that I ever worked there because I got to do neat stuff like that. And they were crazy high power, and it worked fairly well. I think he used it for, like 2 or 3 years after I left. But one like unseasonably warm summer, one of them just cooked. So that was cool. Yeah, I've installed those before. They're quite good. I can't remember how much they cost. I wonder if he did make his money back. I don't know. He was really stingy.
Some of those are pretty expensive, but there's like plans online to make. The directional
the antennas.
Square panel, yeah, that come out pretty cheap.
This guy was so ridiculous that he was an early adopter on those pan tilt head wireless cameras, and he would just during the day you'd be working and he'd just see the camera moving around and like zooming, and
that's like
you're so weird. Just
one of my ex's old friends, he worked at a place. It was like a glass place up in the Loop or something.
Mm-hmm.
But the owner was like big into electronics and robots and weird shit, and so he had a remote controlled truck with a camera with a pan tilt zoom camera on it, and he could control it from home.
What?
So it would literally they'd be working and then
they'd be driving around.
Yeah, he'd be driving around like looking at people, and it had like audio that would come out so he could talk to people. Like, he could be anywhere in the country and, like, just drive his little remote control truck around.
That's so stupid.
Yeah, like...
But that's not in the job description.
Yeah.
Talk to a truck.
Yeah.
Stupid. Oh, that's really annoying. Well, I don't really have anything else. You guys? I haven't run too much longer. Does anybody else have any questions? Wait. Thanks for watching, Al. Sorry the audio wasn't working properly.
Yes,
the version can we, I know you said you didn't want to do this, but can we upload a version that's...
What I'll do is when that gets done processing, which is probably by the time I get home, I'll take it down. And then I was recording on that, but I didn't start recording this until a few minutes in, so I'll
okay, we'll
piece
futz around with it.
Yeah, it'll be okay.
Do some Kyle
Hopefully,
magic hand waving.
Yeah.
That's
still
recording.
what I do.
All right. Well, hopefully, Project Syncro podcast number 8. Well, we're making strides to improve.
Yes.
Somebody called me out on, so I posted some albums on Imager before we end here, because I know the things that Kyle and I know. Well, Kyle can say that he is a professional, but I can't. Nothing I do is a professional, other than maybe count my IT work, because that's the only stuff I do professionally. But all the stuff we're doing is amateur. And I posted some albums on Imager, and if you're not familiar with Imager, it's the image hosting service that most people use on Reddit and whatnot. But you can comment on it. So I posted all these albums on Imager of the car build over the years, and someone watched one of my videos and trolled and was basically said, You say too much, and went off, on a whole diatribe about how I say too much.
Fuck off.
So I told him, first of all, I don't care. I'm sorry that I do. It's a thing that I do when I'm talking, but our videos are not scripted. Kyle shows up at my house when I'm eating lima beans, and then we shoot a video about something that we decide that day, and it is what it is.
This is literally like a video diary.
Yeah, it kind of is.
Like a build log diary.
Yeah.
Journal.
The explanation I did on
of the build, like that's all it is, and we did. We started
partway in.
Yeah, I mean, fairly close to the beginning. I mean, other than the cage took you like a year.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
which now, if you had to do it again, it would take you like a week.
Yes, exactly. So I know I say during the videos. It's because if you've ever talked to me in person, I say when I'm explaining things, because that's what you do when you don't know what to say next. You don't blankly stare at a person. It happens. I'm sorry.
Just admit it. You're smarter than everyone else, and you have to say to dumb it down for them.
Right.
That's what it is. How can I explain this without making you feel stupid?
No, it's not that. It's
right.
No, not really, though, but that's just wrong.
It's also the thing I get to say that I'm not an engineer either. So many people say, well, that's what you get for being an engineer or something. I'm not an engineer. I went to an engineering school, but I'm not an engineer. I can use that. I used to be really, really butthurt that I wasn't an engineer, but now I really don't care, because I can use that as my scapegoat. Yeah, that can be my scapegoat all the time. I'm not an engineer, so I'm sorry that I got this slightly wrong.
The thing that I've noticed with like a lot of us, like friends, is like, okay, Kendall is an engineer.
Yeah.
Truly. Mm-hmm. But all of us have engineering minds.
Yeah.
Just not the engineering ability.
Yeah.
Well, I gave up on math in high school.
Yeah, exactly.
I took calculus and said, fuck this. I'm never doing that again.
Yeah.
Even though I got into I applied to college and got into an engineering program, and I said no, because I just had no patience for it. Same with physics. I just couldn't do it. But like you have an engineering mind, even though you don't have.
I had a lady at
You have spatial. You have a spatial and situational awareness.
Right.
So we were on family vacation.
We all have the mind of like how to make, tinkering with things and how to make them work, and being able to do things ourselves. Me, not as much. That's why I have friends who know how to do things, and I just make video on it. But
right.
Yeah, we all have the same type of mindset though with it.
No, we have an inside joke that I'm an engineer, because we were on a family vacation up in Grand Rapids at Kids Museum, like Science Center version up there. And me and Cole are playing. We're putting together this. They're just plastic squares and triangles with magnets on the edge, and we're just building something. So built this thing that kind of looked like a rocket ship. Lady's like, "Oh, we're an engineer." No. I'm playing with kid toys.
No, but I can fix your AC.
Yeah. Excuse me, ma'am, but these are shapes. I think you're.
And I'm 30. I can do this.
If I'm an engineer, they're setting the bar real low.
I guess I'm a structural engineer. I build bridges.
I work with squares and triangles, ma'am. Stand clear.
Oh, no, but it's like okay, Kendall's an engineer. The Hebes are engineers, correct? Both of them.
Yeah.
I mean, we have, like, there's some people that just don't think like that.
Yeah.
My worst customers are all engineers.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah,
Every single one of them.
I would totally believe that too.
that is the miracle of Kendall.
Excuse me, but I downloaded the data sheets for all of these units, and I noticed that you didn't wrap your you didn't shield your ground properly here.
And
So
I'm sure Kendall might watch
I'm gonna have to
this.
ask you to redo that.
Yeah. But Kendall had his mental abilities. When you actually, become friends with him and you talk to him and you know what he knows, he should be the most socially awkward, retarded person you've ever met. He should be.
No, but he drinks a lot, so.
Right, no, but he's not. He's not. He's not a socially awkward person
Yeah.
where most engineers with his level of ability are.
No,
Unfortunately.
like it's not surprising when you walk in over Kendall's and he's like, I'm gonna build a transmission, and he doesn't mean I'm gonna put one together. It means I'm going to design and fabricate my own transmission from scratch.
That's one of his life goals.
Yeah, it's just make my own transmission. Oh,
But he's not socially retarded.
yeah.
Yeah, like I have actually a girl I used to date when I was like in grade school. She works for.
You dated in grade school?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I was a big pimp, but no. But she works for Reliable Turbine Services,
Oh, nice.
but she organizes all their travel and stuff for them when they have to go out and calibrate these turbines, either at power plants or engines, whatever.
And there are people there that can't function in society.
No, but that's the thing is she has to babysit these people.
Oh,
because,
yeah.
like she gives them itineraries,
They're like
where they have to go, like, literally like from the airport to like directions
Yeah.
to their hotels.
Hold
like,
your left hand up to get a cab.
and they still call her like 3 a.m, like all the time.
I don't know where
And like they're like, how do I do this? She's like, it's in your itinerary. sheet.
it's a confirmation number, and you
It's there.
tell the
Just read
person the 6-digit alphanumeric code, and they will give you a key to your room.
Yeah, and
Ugh.
she, like all of them are just socially retarded.
Yeah.
They just they can't function, without someone literally being a babysitter for them.
Ugh.
It's crazy.
Well, on that note,
Don't be socially retarded.
thank you for listening, guys. I'm sorry if I say too much, but it's because I don't really care about being that I'm doing this in the evenings after I get off of work, and I'm trying to have some fun with it. And I know we're having a little bit of fun with it. If we're ever not improving, then please tell us. But I know we're
I
not
don't even
professionals.
care about that.
So when can we do one of these and Ron's just obliterated?
Oh, drunk.
We need to.
We actually we should talk to Tatiana and just do one at Handlebar.
That might be. I mean,
I'm sure we could actually just
Yeah, we
show
could.
up and do one in it, but
yeah, we could.
are doing. Too bad Dubliner. Too bad Rue is closed, but
Or the Dubliner.
yeah,
Aren't they
Dubliner.
closed? Or did they find a buyer?
No, I think they closed.
Fuck. Washington's going to shit.
Yeah, we should really podcasts drunk probably would be more fun.
When you win the lottery,
Yeah.
I'm winning the lottery.
Oh,
Wednesday.
buy all
Don't-
of Washington.
From the McGowans? No.
so
No. Those guys
podcast
will
number
want
eight.
$1 billion for it.
podcast number 8. Be prepared. We'll talk about our lottery scenarios. Definitely. Okay, well this has gone on long enough. I'm at an hour now, I'm sure, at least.
Oh, we're like an hour 15.
Okay, well, thank you guys for listening. Again, we'll try and do some advance notice to do this live next time, and hopefully we'll get the audio right and what have you. So,
Sorry.
yeah, once again, thank you for all your likes and subscriptions and whatnot on YouTube and Facebook. We enjoy that thoroughly. If there's anything you want to hear on these podcasts at all, please don't hesitate to let us know. And we appreciate it. So we'll see y'all next time. Bye.
Arrivederci.